Pardon the Interruption is presented by Samuel Adams. From Boston with love. Savor the flavor responsibly. Part of Happy Hour.
Happy time, people. Happy 80th birthday, Pelé. The Brazilian great is probably the most appreciated soccer player ever for Americans of a certain age. Far more recognizable than Maradona, Beckham, Ronaldo, Messi. Ask any American over the age of 50 to name one soccer player, and most often it is the three-time World Cup winner Pelé. It was Pelé who the North American Soccer League lured here in the 1970s to popularize soccer in the United States beyond a small circle of pretentious yahoos. I remember when Pelé played for the New York Cosmos and drew in every famous person in the city. I remember being in the Cosmos locker room pregame, seeing Pelé chatting with Mick Jagger. I remember covering Pelé's retirement when he said, "Love, love, love," and 75,000 people cheered him like he was a rock star. The mass popularization has never happened here, but Pelé will always be regarded as a cultural ambassador for soccer.
Tony, you were covering that game. I was there as a fan. It was an unbelievable day. I was a little kid at the time. By the way, when I was growing up, we saw him play at Yankee Stadium, of course, Giant Stadium, and then Randall's Island, right underneath the Triborough Bridge. It only took about 3 hours to get out after a game. It wasn't that bad. Really very convenient.
So you were kids. So you're implying that I'm like, what, 110
years old? You were young. You were just starting out.
Happy anniversary, Joe Carter. On this day 27 years ago, Carter hit a 3-run walk-off home run off Phillies closer Mitch Williams in the bottom of the ninth to give the Blue Jays an 8-6 win and their second straight world championship. In the past few days, we have talked at length about Carlton Fisk's home run and Kirk Gibson's home run, and we have mentioned Bill Mazeroski's home run. Mazeroski's home run and Carter's home run are the only ones to walk off an entire World Series. If the same thing happened this year, it would have happened in Buffalo. When you make a list of the 10 most famous home runs in baseball history, the ones I have mentioned are all on it. So is Bobby Thompson's shot heard around the world. So is Babe Ruth's called shot. Henry Aaron's 715. Mark McGuire's line drive 62. I guess Barry Bonds is number 756, though I don't recall it. Roger Maris is 61st. Is there anything I'm missing, Frank? Bucky Dent, Aaron Boone, Big Poppy's walk-off, Reggie's 3-in-1 game, what?
Maybe right outside the top 10, Kirby Puckett in 91, Game 6 against Charlie Lieber, forced the Game 7, Minnesota won. By the way, I was at the Joe Carter game. My assignment afterwards, Mitch Williams I did a story on. So I did a story on the losing pitcher.
Did he talk?
He was actually, to his credit, he was actually very good after the game. That was a brutal locker room to be in. Really
good
tough.
For him. Happy trails to any postponed game in the Big Ten. The Big Ten announced a coronavirus policy that will not accommodate postponing and rescheduling a game. If positivity rates within a team make it impossible to play that game, the game will be declared a no contest. The Big Ten is budgeted for 8 games per school because of their late start, plus a 9th game in Big Ten Champions Week in mid-December. The Big Ten says now that in order to compete in the Big Ten championship game and maybe be eligible for the national playoffs, a team must play 6 games. I emphasize the Big Ten says now, because we've seen the Big Ten reverse itself on playing football altogether. They pompously talked about science and safety, but they're going to open the season tonight with Illinois at Wisconsin, despite the fact that the Midwest is under siege by the virus right now. The Big Ten changes its rules when it wants. So don't be surprised if Ohio State is 5-0 and can't get to the Big Ten minimum of 6 games if the Big Ten changes the minimum to 5 games to get Ohio State into the playoff.
I think Wilbon's probably thinking, wait, 6 games, maybe Northwestern can get into the Final Four. Don't you think somehow, some way, 3 of the teams are going to be Clemson, Alabama, and Ohio State? It always seems like everyone else is fighting for that one spot.
If Ohio State is good, they ought to be in. Geographic disparities are very good things. The Big Ten is a wonderful conference. They're just a little bit on the morally hidebound side. One omission, both Emmanuel Sanders and Michael Thomas have been ruled out for the Saints game against the Panthers. Michael Thomas, that's a big deal, is it not?
Big time. He hasn't played in a while now.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the big finish. The Holiday Bowl was canceled. Is that a big deal?
I think it's going to be one of many. By the way, the Fenway Bowl, I know one of your favorite games, that's canceled as well. Le'Veon Bell makes his Chiefs debut on Sunday against the Broncos. Are you expecting big production?
It's not that I don't think that he can do big production. I'm not sure how many plays he's going to get. I'm not sure what the Chiefs want out of him. I'm just not at this point. Due to attendance limits in Philly, this year's Army-Navy game will be moved to West Point. Is that significant?
It is. It's the first time at a home site since World War II. Have you ever been up to West Point for a football game in the fall?
Yes, it's beautiful.
How great is that? It's incredible.
The march is wonderful. Wonderful.
It really is. Number 1, Clemson hosts Syracuse tomorrow. Number 2, Alabama at Tennessee. Do you foresee any problems for either team?
I do not. I would point out that Syracuse 2 or 3 years ago up there beat Clemson. Now they're 1-4 this year. It's not going to happen, but it did happen. Last one, Maryland at Northwestern tomorrow. Promise me Maryland will win that game.
This is year 2 for Mike Lockley. Hope he wins, but Northwestern 11-point favorite. I don't know.
We're out of time. We'll try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
And I'm Frank Isola. Have a great weekend. You can get the PTI podcast on the ESPN app or Apple Podcasts.
Good night, Canada.
You're
kicking all of our athletes out.
First time we crossed paths.